Let's talk about the spirit of Easter. For a lot of people in the world, Easter is a place and time for us to reflect. Regardless of your religious connotation, your beliefs, what you know to be true, Easter has significance, as do a lot of other religious holidays that I like to reference. And today we're going to talk about this thing called Easter. You see, Easter is not just a holiday. It's a personal invitation from God, from the source of truth, from this, I would call it universal, infinite intelligence, God. It is an invitation to you to rise, really to let go and surrender what's been weighing you down and step fully into the woman you've been created to be. That's the message. I, as some of you know, you've been following me for quite some time. I just have this up here. You've been following me for quite some time. You know that my name is Diana Patton, and I help corporate women speak up and advocate for themselves. And our desire is to help you understand how to attain the wealth, the recognition, the ability to stand firm in your power, and to use that for good by speaking up and advocating for yourself. So today I'm going to put this up here that today we are going to be talking about it's time to rise again. Are you ready for your your comeback? Okay. Um, so I just want to kind of share something that I know you're going to be hearing a lot this weekend, but you know, I really do believe that the ultimate sacrifice is life, right? So Jesus gave up his life, whether you believe Jesus is the Son of God, whether you believe Jesus is a disciple, whether you believe Jesus was a prophet, whether you believe Jesus didn't walk this earth, it doesn't matter. Jesus was did lay down his life. There is proof of that so that we could have freedom. The way Jesus lived his life was a testament to us and actually a great leadership book for any of us to read is the Bible, whether you choose to or not. You know, Jesus was the ultimate leader. And the opportunity for you to be able to lay down some things is now. That's what the reminder of this season, that's what the reminder of this time period is for you to be able to reflect and lay down. So maybe you need to let go of some fear, right? Shame, some self doubt, or the lie that you have to earn your worth. Some of you have lived a lifetime believing that you're not even worthy because, oh, I don't have a college degree. I haven't earned the income that I need to earn. I haven't been able to find the partner that I need or want to have. I don't go to church. I'm not worthy, which is all a lie. And my question to you is when are you going to release that? When are you going to find freedom to be the person that you've been called to be? And this is something that I believe is we need to do now, but we need to do always. So I want you to know that it's a time to pause, to be still, and to reflect on what needs to be released. What do you think? Where's your biggest thing? And I'll have to share first because I've been doing this work for quite some time. And I'm so blessed to work with what's called the Rise Advocates ambassadors. These are people who've gone through the academy, which you hear me talk about a lot. They then went through a 6-month immersion, and now they are with what I call the ambassadors. And we had a question the other night: do we ever get rid of our trauma? Is there a time when it's completely out of our minds? We don't even think about it anymore. Is there ever a time when you reach that place? My thought is I don't really believe that it ever goes away, but there is a pathway for you to know it, see it, and realize it doesn't have power over you, right? That there's no fear with it. There's no shame associated. There's no lies that you're telling yourself about it. And for me, it was always this idea that I had to tone it down, or you're too loud, or you're too much. Or my father used to say, "You disgust me, get out of my face." And it was this idea that I needed to shrink, right, when I was getting to be too much. And it was very subconscious. I didn't really realize that that was the narrative that I had playing in the back of my mind. And so I really literally took all of the things I'm telling you very seriously to be able to remove this shame, to be able to remove this fear, because I knew that what was on the other side of that was my growth, was my birth. And that's exactly what Jesus went through by going through this whole process. We had Palm Sunday last week. We have Good Friday today. It's a time of reflection. It's a time of renewal. It's a time of release, because then comes the comeback, right? Is once you decide to let that go, to surrender it, then Easter, which is Sunday, that's the comeback, right? That's the Jesus died. And then, of course, he rose again. And it baffled all of the religious leaders because they thought he was a freak. They thought um, he was a liar, and he wasn't who he said he was, and he was a fraud. That's why they killed him. And of course, this is what happens with us in the world. I believe that the stuff that has held you back, the fear, shame, and all of the self doubt that you have, either related to your past traumas or with some programming that you've picked up along the way, either of being a woman or being a person of color or being a Black person. There's some sort of shame or fear or doubt that you've wrapped around that narrative. And when you release that and you die, literally, you have to die to that self. When you die to that self, then you have a resurrection. Without a doubt, that is exactly what this weekend is all about, right? It's a declaration that nothing, and I mean nothing, can keep you buried. Nothing can keep you in a corner. Nothing can keep you, no matter if someone did you wrong, right? And I'm an attorney and I understand that there needs to be justice and all the things, but you can win your case and still be buried. You can win your case and not ever have freedom. And a lot of people suffer. They just suffer throughout their lives. So, my question to you is, what is your resurrection story? We all have a choice every single day, if we so choose, but let's make it this Easter season. Let's make it your resurrection story. What is your resurrection story? What do you want to find a renewal on? And for those of you who don't know the story of Jesus, I mean, he died, and it's typical tradition, Jewish tradition, was to wrap the person who died in a certain type of cloth. And for Jesus, Jesus was actually put into a tomb and guarded by I think it was a centurion, but it was a person who guarded the door to make certain that no one could go in. So there actually was a guard at the door. And of course, the story goes that when the, I think it was Mary Magdalene, if I get my name wrong, y'all, correct me, who went to check on Jesus after he was buried, the tomb was empty. It was Jesus' resurrection. Always gives me chills thinking about it, because it is something that can happen to us. We can actually lay down our lives and leave all the stuff that we were holding on to for so long. We have to leave, clothing, leave places we used to go, people we used to talk to, people that we thought were our friends. We have to let that go. So, I have three questions for you, and I'm going to read them to you from our weekly download. How many of you guys are getting our weekly downloads? If you're not getting our weekly downloads, there will be a link in the notes for you to be able to get them, because you need to consume yourself. You need to consume your mind every week with the information that we are giving out, because we are not, we curate each message. Our copywriter, Yanaya, our director of communications, we work together to put this out here. And Yanaya is the one who really spends a lot of time making certain that you get the right types of messages in your box. And really, it's about helping you get where you want to be. So I have three questions for you that I'm going to read from our download today. And it says, what are you leaving in the tomb? Like, what are you leaving? What do you need to leave in the tomb? Like, we need to like bury it and say goodbye to it. What do you need to leave there? It is something that you really have to spend some time on. And I get it if some of you are like, I don't know if I can leave that behind. It's my lifestyle. For me, it's like trying to not like drink a glass of wine, which I love wine, but it's like I needed to let that go because for a season and maybe even for a longer season, um, and maybe learn the art of just having maybe a glass of wine from time to time, but not like every other day, right? To leave that there. Why? Because it's just not good for me, right? I don't want to be dependent on anything. So that could be the one thing for you. It could be a thought. It could be something that you say to yourself because an unexamined life is a life not worth living. And if you're not examining your life every day, how do you know what to leave behind? Or maybe you're just choosing to stay so busy, stay so busy. I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm always so busy. I'm busy. I'm busy. And acting like that's like your badge of honor. But maybe you just need to stop saying you're so busy so that you could focus on something. So that could be an opportunity. So that's the first question I want to ask is, what are you leaving in the tomb? The second question I want to ask is, what are you stepping into with renewed faith? Faith is the thing that kind of get you through. It actually allows you to have courage. It gives you confidence because faith is what I would call in scripture say, it's like this evidence. Like, I love evidence. I like proof that things are the way that they are. So it's an evidence of things that you cannot physically see in your world. So there's evidence that you can see in your mind that it is already so. And it's the confidence that it's going to come, right? So what are you stepping into with a renewed faith? In other words, I can get through anything. I can remove anything in my life. I don't have to have any stronghold tied to it. I can do that. Why can't I do that? What makes me think I can do that? Because I have faith and I have a renewed faith. I have a God who controls the universe and I tap into that. It's inside of me and I get to use that. A lot of people just discount the power that they have within themselves to do so many things. And it's so sad to see so many people wrapped up in things they can't control. And all they have to do is focus on what they can control, and their whole entire lives change. The circumstances may not always see change outside of them, but they certainly can approach it differently. And what a beautiful life to know that you can do that, right? So that's the second thing. And then the third thing I want to ask you is, this is a very serious one, is as you remove the clutter, you remove the shame, you remove all this stuff to begin to heal, you start to realize that you're being called to a higher purpose, that God's calling you to do something very unique, very different. And it doesn't look like anything in the world. And often it scares you. It scares you because you're like, oh my gosh, why do I have this feeling? Why do I have this thought? Why is this consistently coming in my head? It doesn't make sense. And I get it because that's something that I went through. Because when it's not that I'm unique or anyone is unique that gets a call, we all get the call. We all do. But often because we're so shackled with the shame and the fear and the doubt and the worry and this acceptance, we won't go after it. And so that's something that I really want you to think about, right? So, first is, what are you leaving in the tomb? Second is, what are you going to step into with a renewed faith? I hope you're writing this down. And third is, what is God calling you to do that's bigger, that's higher than what you can see around you? Gosh, that gives me chills. I mean, that gives me this feeling like, oh my gosh, what a really beautiful opportunity to have a rebirth, isn't it? It's so beautiful. Um, so you could essentially say that Easter is a cleanse that helps us get rid of things, people, not get rid of people, but put boundaries around people of things that just don't serve you well, right? Really start to examine that, and that's what Easter gives us the life to do. I just love the opportunity of stepping into what I like to call courage, doing things that are like so outside of my comfort zone. Um, just to be able to do things that I know will challenge me. It's a life that I love to live, and it's beautiful. So here's what I want to offer you is the opportunity to step into a new way, a new purpose, and to choose worth and to choose what you've been called to do. So what I would love to do is have you put in the comments, what's your renewal story? And I'm going to actually write it here. What is your renewal story? I'd love to hear it. And if you are watching the replay, which likely you will be because I don't see you here, I'd love to hear what is your renewal story? What are you choosing? And if you're ready to take another step, I want to invite you to our Rise Advocates Academy. We have a new cohort that's starting. The Rise Advocates Academy begins on April 24th. It's next week. Just go to the link that you see there and put an application in. It's really quick. It's really easy. If you're serious, you'll do it. And join us because it's a time for deep work of healing, of growth, of stepping into what you have been called from a divinity perspective, right? I really do know that this is time for you to rise. We need it in our country today. I'm going to take a sip of my Starbucks coffee because I know that I'm not getting rid of this, but I know Starbucks is going to sponsor these weekly lives. And I'm excited about that. So let's rise. Let's all take time to take this message, listen to it over and over, send it to someone that you know, send it to someone that you love. Be sure to, if you are not receiving our weekly downloads, you must receive them. I just really hope that you can receive them because it's a blessing to me to receive them every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know it will be a blessing to you. If you are a corporate woman who's looking for this type of nourishment, we want to give it to you every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Next week, we will be letting you know about a new opportunity for you to step into, not next week, yeah, the following week of us offering a membership, very low price membership for you to be able to get this type of information to you every single week. All right, my friends, thank you so much. Go to riseadvocatesacademy.com/register for you to be able to join the academy, and we look forward to seeing you there. In the meantime, we'll see you on Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, live here on YouTube.